Alec, how's it going?
It's going good. I don't know. I just saw you do this, so I wanted to imitate
Wow.
you. I wanted to try it at least once. I'm doing pretty well. I'm tired. I'm a little tired,
So am
but
I.
I'm always tired. So, what else is new?
So sometimes you gotta bring a low energy video. That's just exactly what
Low.
people want to see.
We're gonna be low energy Jebs.
Yeah. I'm very tired too, man.
Please clap.
And we've just started. We're not at the end of our video.
Yeah,
We
I
just
know.
started.
Yeah, we're just getting going here,
Oh
but
boy,
no,
we're
let's
gonna
do it.
get amped up.
No, I know how to get amped up. You know what we got to do? We do some
Uh,
hypotheticals. That's how we get amped up.
okay,
Get the
okay,
discussion flowing.
all right.
Wow. All right, you're letting me down here. Let me down a little bit. Come on.
All
Let's
right,
pick up.
Hypertheticals by Chuck Klosterman. 50 questions for insane conversations.
Insanity.
If you haven't seen this before, there's no reason not to go and watch the other videos first, so I won't explain anything
No.
to you. Um, moving
I did. Yeah,
forward.
yeah. You'll get the idea if you just like I don't know what they're talking about. What is YouTube? How am I here? Just keep watching and you'll understand.
This is the fourth installment, so there's three others. It'll take you a few weeks to get through them all, but regardless, we haven't done one of these in a while.
It's
You
been a little
know,
bit.
this Tarqaron's an exciting venture. You never know what you're going to get each week.
It's
Except
true.
for Survivor, you will get every week. And now Epic Rap Battles right now is every week, so.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, you never know. This one's called Front Page News.
Oh. Okay.
Right.
I'm all ears.
Defying all expectation, a group of Scottish marine biologists capture a live Loch Ness monster. In an almost unbelievable coincidence, a bear hunter in the Pacific Northwest shoots a Sasquatch in the thigh, thereby allowing zoologists to take the furry monster into captivity. These events happen on the same afternoon. That evening, the president announces that he may have thyroid cancer and will undergo a biopsy later that week. You are the front page editor of the New York Times. What do you run as the biggest story? The president. All right. Easy views, easy reads.
No, you know what? I don't think I agree. I don't know if I necessarily agree with
Is the
that.
president not trending anymore?
The president.
Donald Trump
Okay,
has thyroid
hold
cancer.
on. Yeah, Donald Trump. Would anyone? Okay, let's be
It's
honest.
not that they care, but
Would most of the newspapers in this yeah, that's what I mean. Would most of the newspapers in this country really like to print that as their front page headline or their front page?
people. I mean, for good or for bad, you want to print things, right? So
I guess that's true.
if you have people rejoicing in the streets, then
Well, here's the thing. It's like every news. Here's the thing. Okay, every newspaper is going to report on that. That's going to be the front page news of everything. I don't want my newspaper to be just like all the others.
yeah,
All right,
New
I'm
York
reporting
Times.
on the Loch Ness monster. Okay, Loch Ness monster or nothing. Get out of here.
Loch Ness monster over the Sasquatch.
That's right. Yeah, Sasquatch Sasquatch is more. It's too modern of a legend. Loch Ness goes back. The Loch Ness monster goes back. I honestly don't know what I'm talking about here. The Loch Ness monster goes goes back a long time. So given that it's a global legend, all people from all sorts of walks of life think about the Loch Ness monster. I mean, you even got like Nintendo. It's got like Plessy and the monster down in the cave in Mario 64. You
Of
got
course.
so you get your Mario references to the Loch Ness monster and um yeah and
I
then you've
don't
got,
see why we can't have both in the story. I feel like you can't mention one without mentioning the other. You can't just be like, "Oh, the Loch Ness monster has been discovered," when you know that, like you can't have
Sasquatch.
them as
I feel
completely
like
separate articles. They should be
no, yeah,
intertwined.
you would have to include it, but I think starting with Loch Ness monster and then like having in like maybe the subtitles is like other legendary creature found or something like that.
And Donald Trump has thyroid
And
cancer.
Donald Trump, I feel like Donald Trump would be like the feature down in the corner, like
Yeah.
so okay, so if you have like a I don't know, like a New York Post or a Boston Herald. Sorry, I'm using all East Coast things. I don't know where
Hmm.
everyone else comes from. That's my frame of reference. But you got so that has almost like a I don't know what like you call the formatting, but it has like it's just a one page spread, whereas opposed to the like the Times, the New York Times, or the Globe, Boston Globe, as a bifold, right? So as opposed to I can't remember what the I know there's a bifold, and then I know there's some other paper,
Yes.
but if it was a bifold, I feel like it would be easier to fit in. It'd be front page news, obviously. The top headline with a picture would be about the Loch Ness monster, and then I have a feature about Sasquatch being found too, and then like maybe like on the underside, you'd have like Donald Trump has. So in my tiers of order, it would be um, Loch Ness monster and the Sasquatch gets mentioned in that article. And Donald Trump. So Donald Trump gets second billing. You better be happy about that, Don.
He'd be
Um,
tweeting about that too. He'd be like, "I can't believe Loch Ness monster,
beat me out
Sasquatch.
for my thyroid cancer.
No one cares. The Democrats,
Unbelievable.
the Democrats are
Sad,
running the Sasquatch."
sad. He would just say sad.
He would call out New York Times. He's done it before.
Oh,
He'd
yeah.
be like, "New York Times,
Yeah,
fake news."
yeah. Fake news is above him, pretty much.
Yeah, he's gonna just like push the
Question
fact
the
these aren't
science,
real. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even real. And
So yeah. And now, if it was a front page spread, I think it would be Loch Ness monster alone, and maybe like a mention of the Sasquatch in the subtext again, and the full page spread. And then on the back, if you go to maybe the sports section, you'd be like, we'd interrupt the sports section. Donald Trump has thyroid cancer. Maybe not the back sports section. We would instead it'd be the next page. It'd be behind the fold. You'd see, okay, so they are talking about him still too, thyroid cancer. But you're just slam dunk. You're just like, no, the president's more important.
No,
I mean, he is.
That's the gut reaction, is that Donald Trump will attract more attention. But
Okay, but what if it's another president? What if it was Barack Obama? Say move this back in time a little bit.
definitely not. But
You don't think
not,
he would attract as much attention?
just because Donald Trump
He's a meme.
he's a meme.
Our president is a
And he's
meme.
in the headlines for a lot of things, mostly bad. So it's like the ultimate. It's like thyroid cancer, and it's like people rejoicing or whatever.
Wow.
It's like good news, right?
I mean, for crying out loud, say what you will about the guy, but cheering that he has thyroid cancer is pretty terrible.
that's what would happen.
Yeah, fair enough.
It would be
Yeah.
trending. It would be like Trump thyroid or something.
Okay.
I can get on board with Loch Ness monster. This is the front though.
I just think it has this like Sasquatch. I don't know. It'd be like a local newspaper would definitely do that as a headline. Like
Local newspaper,
wherever
that's huge news. Sasquatch.
it is huge. No. I mean, no. What I'm saying is like wherever he was shot and captured. That's
Sure.
like the newspapers in that region would definitely be running with that
But that,
as front page news.
yeah. And Loch Ness monster is specifically a Scottish thing, so it's like
Yeah.
interesting. That would be the front page headline. But yeah, I'm on board with that.
Cool.
Alright. This one's called Mystical Clay.
Mystical clay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A major earthquake occurs in California. After the damage is assessed, workers discover a strange type of clay that was exposed by the fault line. Immediately, certain workers report a bizarre sensation. Merely touching the clay gives them a euphoric, almost sexual sense of well-being. They only need to touch it once to feel great forever. Soon, thousands of people begin flocking to the clay to experience it. About 1 in 4 people feel the euphoric effect, regardless of gender, age, or nationality. The rest of the populace feels nothing at all. Scientists who study the atomic structure of the clay realized this substance could also serve as the cleanest, most completely efficient fuel ever discovered. One 1 pound of clay could power all of Los Angeles for 10 years. However, those who have been personally and spiritually affected by the clay implore the government not to pursue this avenue. They insist that using the clay as energy will destroy mankind's ability to feel joy. They cannot explain what this means, but they overwhelmingly and specifically suggest that this is literally what will happen. In fact, many of them claim they will attempt to overthrow the U.S. government if the clay is misused in any way whatsoever. You are in the second term of your tenure as President of the United States. The clay has no effect on you whatsoever. would you support an initiative that allows 5% of the clay to be mined?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be threatened by a cult that gets their jollies off
Yeah.
from some clay, some weird clay. Also, this makes that episode of Otaku Brothers make sense, because I think they had something about like sexual clay or something in one of the episode titles.
Oh.
Yeah, because I always skip over the these because I don't want to spoil I don't want to spoil them. So I was like, yeah.
I mean, that's a powerful cult. 1 in 4 people, and how many people are getting?
Wait.
Over?
Is that what it's saying? Like 1 in 4 people are willing to rise up, or 1 in 4 people get that feeling from the clay?
1 in 4 people get that feeling, but it's like.
Have they tried it on everyone?
No, it's whoever's coming to Los Angeles to experience it.
Experience the sexual clay.
But it's still powerful. But 5%, mining 5%, easy.
Yeah, why not? I feel like, why can't they compromise? They would still be able to have.
Well, apparently
they can't.
Clay. Apparently they can't compromise because it's some sort of unreasonable, like, feeling.
Is it like a sin? Is it like, are we like chopping parts of God off or something? Is that like what they're trying to claim? I guess.
They can't explain what it means when they say that this will destroy mankind's ability to feel joy. It's just a thing they have. They specifically think this is literally what will happen. It will destroy.
Yeah, that sounds like the ramblings of a cult.
Yeah, you're all like, once you are exposed to it and you feel the sensation, it's like it takes over your thought process and how you operate, almost.
Nope, not having any of it.
Yeah. We'll allow 5% of it to be mined. All right.
Yeah, I would be. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I mean, I'd be willing to face the consequences of that action, but I feel like, I mean, when you see an energy resource, I mean, you might as well go for it. We're not gonna have, all the over concern with renewable energy with everyone. I don't know if this is really renewable, but it doesn't sound like it. But the fact that it's that potent to like power, like not very much of it power major cities for like
years, yeah,
decades. That's pretty substantial potential right there.
Yeah,
that's solving a crisis with, of sorts. So,
all right, easy. This one's called Banquet of Lovers.
Okay.
Every person you have ever slept with is invited to a banquet where you're the guest of honor. No one will be in attendance except you, the collection of your former lovers, and the catering service. After the meal, you're asked to give a 15-minute speech to the assembly. What do you talk about? All right, so I'm in the room by myself.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So it's me talking to the catering staff about something, I guess. I mean, if you want to branch it out, we could be anyone you've been in a relationship with, maybe, which is really still only one person.
Anyone you've touched, anyone you gave a hug to.
Yeah, that's still not a very long list of people.
Yeah, wouldn't be a very good talk.
Wow, this was exciting.
15-minute speech to the assembly. Yikes.
A 15-minute. Okay, now okay, I'm imagining. Okay, so I'm imagining just the girls I've been interested in. Now, I still don't know what I'd give a speech about. I'd probably just talk about maybe why 2D girls are better. Why anime girls are better than they are.
Alright, good talk.
Here you go.
Yeah, the catering service is there. Yeah, so there is a catering service.
Catering service can be like, that's pretty weird. I don't know if we're ever gonna get this guy ever, if he gets married, he better not call us because we're gonna say no.
Maybe help a brother out. Maybe get some advice from the catering service. Like,
yeah, it's like, so do you know why I'm 28 and still single?
Yeah.
Maybe not still single, or why I'm now single, even though I've been that way for quite a while.
But it's not even like a conversation. It's like a 15-minute speech, so you just have to talk at them. Just be like, well, maybe it's this.
A 15-minute speech of why I am an incel.
All right, good talk.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
This one's called Vampire Weekend. It's
Vampire Weekend.
Yes.
Well, we're blasting through these a little quick.
I know.
I was expecting.
It's the evening before your wedding. Of course, unlikely.
Okay.
Everything is going as planned. You're spending the afternoon with a few old friends, chatting casually about old times. Suddenly, your spouse-to-be bursts into the room, totally hysterical. Your spouse-to-be insists that he or she has just seen a vampire. When you ask what this means, she says, I was looking out of the window of my hotel room and I could see into the apartment building across the street. That's when I saw the vampire. I saw a man in a black cape bite a woman's neck and drink her blood. Cool. I know this must sound crazy, but I am certain that what I saw is real. Your prospective and sober spouse is in a state of panic and pleads with you to believe her story. You can tell that this is really, really important to her. Knowing the fragility of the situation and the intensity of the timing, do you tell your potential spouse that you do, in fact, completely believe that she saw a vampire across the street? All of your old friends are watching this conversation.
What am I supposed to say?
Yes.
I would say yeah. Of course I would believe her.
But do you believe her?
But do I believe her? I don't know.
Because then if you say yes, then you're starting this marriage off on the wrong foot with built on lies.
Our marriage is built on lies. The first thing you told me the day before we got married was that vampires were real. I was like, well, yeah, because you literally recounted a story. I believe you. You're not the kind of person that would go make up things willy-nilly.
So since we're not getting married, we don't know who this person is. We don't know if that's like normal for her to be hysterical about a vampire across the street.
Why would we? Theoretically, this person would be somebody we would know. We're getting married to them.
I don't, but there's no one that I have any chance of marrying at the moment. So
that's fair. I mean,
there's no one who fits that description.
Right, but this is supposed to be a potential.
Hypothetical.
This is a hyperthetical.
That's what I'm saying. Hypothetically, I don't know how that person operates because I haven't found that person. If
they would be someone that would.
Yeah, because is this a red flag that she's freaking out about a vampire, or?
I would think that you would have found other red flags before then. Before the night you were supposed to get married, theoretically speaking. Okay, so let's put it this way, and I feel at liberty to say this because I really hope, at least she'll probably never see any of these videos. But like the person I was interested in, there were red flags all over the place, and it was only in the subsequent years after the fallout of the relationship, or years after the fallout of the relationship, that I was like, wow, those are red flags, and I was completely ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually a fairly good point.
If someone tells you that they saw a man,
but
in
I feel
a
like
cape,
if you've made the next step to think seriously about marriage, you would have more, because like I hadn't made that step, obviously, hence why the relationship fell apart. So obviously that person was not the kind of person that I was intended to be with, and those red flags ended up meaning something. If I was actually getting to that step of marrying somebody, I would hopefully be able to assess the red flags and know whether or not hysteria or delusions or other bizarre drunken stupor, whatever this is exactly.
Sober.
Except it says she's sober. She is sober. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I would be able to weed that out enough to.
But if anyone tells you that they saw a man across the street in the stereotypical depiction of a vampire, yeah, actually biting someone, and she's actually hysterical about it, I don't think I would believe it, because I don't believe, even if there were a vampire, that it would be the stereotypical version of a vampire. So that's where it's like, no. So I wouldn't believe it. So are you? Then the question is, am I honest with her in this moment, or do I start it off with a lie?
But here's the thing: is that you could maybe the person who's doing it is just like, I don't know, it could be some crazy new serial killer. You don't know. And she just
Yeah.
happened to witness it. And you could be a person who's just like, you literally, like, kills the victims and sucks their blood.
Yeah, we need to
Awkwardly,
hypothetically hear her response to that, because we don't know what she would say after that. If you were like, "Let's talk this out," maybe it's just a crazy person. Let's get to the bottom of this.
So here's the thing. Do you have to immediately respond with a yes, I believe you, or can you talk it out with her a little bit? How, like, give her a drink, give her a stiff one, because theoretically you're at a party with the boys. So give her a stiff one, have her calm down a little bit, then she can recount. Maybe she can start thinking about it a little bit more.
Yeah, it says, do you tell your potential spouse that you do, in fact, completely believe that she saw a vampire across the street? All of your old friends are watching this conversation as if we're going to act a different way because we're old friends there.
So I would, well, do you have to immediately say, no, I do not believe you? Or can you just
believe?
Or can you just start questioning her a little bit more? While consoling her. It doesn't say that you can't do that, so I feel like that would be the next logical step that I would take instead of just being like, yes, I believe you. No, I am the vampire.
Make a joke out of it. Start sucking her blood just for fun.
With all your buddies right there. I'm sure
all your old
they'd
friends
love
are
it.
watching.
Yeah. Just like, oh!
No, just kidding. Okay. Yeah, something like that. That's the way to approach it.
Okay.
I don't
That's
believe that
weird.
she's... I don't believe it, and I would say I don't believe that's what you saw. You may think you saw that.
You're just going crazy because of pre-wedding jitters. That's all. That's what's happening, lady.
You're crazy, woman.
Yeah. And I don't want to marry you no more.
Mama told me you were like this. I didn't believe her. Alright, well, this one's called Artistic Telekinesis.
Ooh.
Let us assume that you have the ability to telekinetically change culture while you actively experience it. Your mind can now dictate what you see and hear. For example, if you were listening to Pearl Jam's Yield and you wanted the music to be heavier, it would immediately sound as though Mike McCready's guitar had been tuned indifferently in the studio.
That's cool.
If you were watching The Office on NBC and decided that Jim should marry Pam, or Karen, or both, you could make it happen. This is incredibly dated. All right.
We both know The Office well enough to know that reference. I know you've seen. I think you've seen more of it than I have at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so yeah, if you're watching The Office and decided that Jim should marry Pam or Karen or both, you can make it happen. All you would need to do is think about that specific desire. You could stare at an oil painting and unconsciously change the color contrasts. If a PG-13 romantic comedy grew dull, you could force it to evolve into an eroticized NC-17 thriller. You could essentially write books as you read them, eliminating certain characters and redirecting plot points as they occurred in the text.
Oh, that would be great.
However, such changes would only apply to your experience. You could kill off Han Solo at the end of Return of the Jedi, but that would not change the movie for anyone else. All other people would possess the same personal psychic powers as you. Would you want this ability? And if this became reality, would art retain any meaning whatsoever?
Did it say that everyone has the same ability that you do?
All other people would possess the same personal psychic powers as you. Yeah.
No, art would no longer mean anything.
But someone has to lay the groundwork, right? You have to take the movie to make something of it. But movies would turn into, here is a character, character, and then just do something with it in your head.
Yeah, you could literally. I mean, I like the idea of, like, where they gave the Pearl Jam example. Nice Pearl Jam reference there. I kind of do that in my head with some music already. I know there's instances where I think of a piece of music and I embellish on it a little bit in my head,
Mm-hmm.
along to it. So I think to a point that'd be fun for me. That part of it would be fun. I'd actually be able to like hear the embellishment, like hear the improvisation and the extra stuff. That would be cool. Um, I think to a point, reshaping some like stories and things that like I didn't particularly enjoy. Like I would love to either completely rewrite or wipe from existence Harry Potter and the Cursed Child because I think it's horrible and does not deserve to exist. Um, but I don't know. I think to I think art is so important and ingrained in who the creator is. I think you can't completely have the death of the author. Not entirely.
Yeah.
I think to a point you can sort of do that a little bit. You can use that sort of principle and apply it in different ways to different things. I mean, Star Wars is essentially practically death of the author now, right? I mean, George Lucas has, it should be anyway, because he's toyed around with Star Wars so much, for example. But everybody says that no, you should stop toying. First of all, the only film that you have any right to really toy around with at all is the first one, because that was the one that you directed. The other two original trilogy films you did not direct, you storied and produced, you did not direct them. So you shouldn't be messing around with them anyways. But all that aside, before I get off on a big Star Wars tangent, I mean, you could think of like a lot of the newer trilogy is. I mean, George Lucas isn't overly fond of them because they didn't use his ideas practically at all. That's almost to an extent doing that, except that's making them real. So I don't know. I think all this kind of to say that bring back the Star Wars. So like The Last Jedi, that was I have major problems with that film, but it's a good thing that it exists in the sense that yes, it's extremely controversial, divided on it. It's very frustrating for the fan base to be so divided on it because it literally just leads to all infighting. But that's kind of like a good thing. I mean, I'm obviously kind of using broad strokes of art here because Star Wars is a giant corporate entity now, as opposed to like actual real art. But I think art being controversial is to a point like healthy. And that's what like garners so much discussion and attention. You think of books like Adventures of Huck Finn, which is controversial because of some of the language a lot of the language that's used in it. Any works of like fine art, I'm just using another like general example, like Picasso. Controversial in the sense that like a lot of the stuff that's on display was like radical for the time, and he has like a neoclassical period, but he also has like a blue period, and then he's got all these other introducing all these concepts and thing into his art, upset people, or like Igor Stravinsky upset his audience with, I believe, and there were people just booing the whole like in the audience the whole time, and like you listen to it now and you're like, wow, it's you've heard that piece of music, I'm sure, and people are like, yeah, sure, that's whatever, it's classical music, but like at the time it was so like abhorrent and controversial that like people were booing it when they were going to see it. Like that's when you can just reshape stuff the way you want it to, you wouldn't have a genuine you wouldn't have genuine reactions from anyone anymore. Everyone would just be like hunky dory with everything. And I think one of the brilliant parts of the human experience, I've realized I've been talking a long time here, but one of the brilliant things about the human experience is being able to discuss, being able to bring your own point of view and talk about pieces of art, challenge pieces of art, have pieces of art challenge you also as a person.
That's Tarqaron right there. We talk about.
Boom. That's Tarqaron mission statement.
Like, what are
Anyway,
we gonna do if we come on this channel and we're like, we're making our own, making Survivor progress how we want it to?
yeah, I guess.
How do we
I guess that would
discuss
be
that?
kind of boring, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be horrible.
Like, you can't. There's no conversation. Yeah, that's definitely the art, the death of art right there. You can't. How do you watch anything with anyone? In fact, like, you're sitting next to them and they're seeing different things. And it's like, is it something you can consciously turn on and off, or is it just you start thinking, oh, maybe this should happen, and it starts derailing the whole story, or is it like, I'm not going to activate my powers today, I'm going to watch the movie as it was intended? But then, yeah, you would have people phoning it in at that point. Like, they're not going to put as much effort into the story if they know people are just interpreting it however they want. Star Wars would just be like, here's Darth Vader. Here's a place. Here's a planet. They literally just say that.
Darth Vader's going to be on this ice planet now. And then he's going to go to the...
Maybe some of these other characters could come in if you want. Here's Han Solo again.
Just like Darth Vader going around the galaxy, just killing everything mercilessly.
So yeah, there would be no meaning to art. Yeah, can't do that. There'd be no meaning to this channel for sure. So.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's the whole point, is reacting to stuff and talking about art, having art challenge us and things like that. So
would I want this ability? No, not if it. I don't think there's really any benefit to having it. Even if it was just me, I feel like it would be a burden, and I would get like depressed about it.
Yeah,
it would probably eventually drain you. You'd be like, "But I see a better version." And you're like,
I mean, it's already, that's already, sometimes that already can be a burden. Trust me.
Just being a great intellectual mind. Yeah.
Just thinking. No, I wasn't. I wasn't just thinking that, but I was just thinking of like, man, I'm writing a better version of what I'm reading in my head. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like that. I mean, I do, because it's like, wow, because it's fun, because it can be funny to talk about, but at the same time, it's also like, wow, this is. I feel bad because like I'm not a professional writer, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to publish anything, but like I almost feel like I could do better than this person, and that's sad to me.
But yeah, that's
stuff like that.
That's the beauty of art. You need the bad with the good, because then
exactly, yeah.
Like you need, and even with something like Survivor, where it's like you just have the person you're rooting for win every time. It's like, then what's the point?
That's no fun. Yeah,
because you're like what else are you going to do? It's always going to be whatever characters you like are going to do the things you want. Alright, that's good. This one's called The Industry Standard.
Ooh.
You are inside a very peculiar rock club. For whatever the reason, the manager of this club demands that all his musical acts must take an extensive IQ test before you will allow them to perform. Tonight there are 2 acts on the bill, and they coincidentally share the same band name, The Industry Standard. Both bands are alleged to be awesome. Sadly, you only have 1 hour to spend at the club due to another obligation. And the intermission between the 2 acts is very long, so you can't watch both. You ask the manager which version of the Industry Standard you should watch. I have no idea, he says, but I will tell you this. The first band had the highest test scores I've ever seen, anywhere. Each member of the band is technically a genius. One guy scored higher than Marilyn Vos Savant. Conversely, the band playing second had some of the worst scores ever recorded. One member might actually be illiterate. However, I halfway suspected they were all drunk and mocking the entire process. I couldn't tell for sure. Which version of the Industry Standard do you decide to see?
Oh, this is like, man, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't really come up with a. Because when you were saying that, you were like, oh, they were genius scorers, and it's like, okay, well, they scored really well IQ. Does that mean that they're like really accomplished technical musicians or not?
I mean, as predictable as it is, I think 9 times out of 10, you if you want to bet on which one's going to be better, you go with the smarter people. I mean, I'm not the one.
Big brain Industry Standard.
I'm not the one to be. I don't really follow any bands that are drunken fools, so it's like, it's asking you want to listen to geniuses or people that may have been drunk and mocking the process.
Fun.
And it's like, okay.
So do you want to listen to geniuses or do you want to have fun?
Fun? You think that's okay? They could be they're like against the system, hardcore.
Maybe. A lot of like the '80s rock scene was like you would think would be like, yeah, they're getting drunk on stage, having a good time. But like at the same time, then you think of like prog rock and stuff, which is some of my favorite, and those people, like those bands, just made like incredible, ahead of its time kinds of music.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's
yeah,
but if you're weighing your options, do you fault the band that scores perfectly? Just like
no, I feel like as somebody who just like who can appreciate like really skilled musician. I mean, the thing is, it's not guaranteeing that they're actually going to be any good, but I would side with someone who's registered as high levels of intellect, because of a lot of what I find really impressive in some cases is technical musicianship, like the crazy like brilliant jazz guitarists, or really impressive like I said, like prog rock, and I don't know. I mean, what can you say against the IQ, really? Other than
as opposed as I am to the fact that they're doing an IQ test for bands, it's like, if you're gonna weigh it at all, you might as well go with the smarter person. Otherwise, you just flip a coin, because they shouldn't be tested on that to begin with.
Yeah, really.
Maybe ask around for a little more. Someone has to have a little more knowledge in these two bands with the same name. Right?
Yeah, just be like, hey, so how's the industry standard? Oh man, they rule. Wait, which one? The one that's going to be performing first, the one the second? Oh, I don't know, dude.
Why are they performing at the same time with the same name? Did they appear out of thin air? Or like,
yeah, who are these? Who are these people?
Do you feel like that should be something you could like check up a little bit before?
I just love the fact that they're called the industry standard too.
Yes, yeah. All right, well, don't do that. Don't do IQ tests for bands performing.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's not the question. That's fine. The Dream VCR. At long last, someone invents the Dream VCR. This machine allows you to tape an entire evening's worth of your own dreams, which you can then watch at your leisure. Oh, that's epic. Okay.
This is great. I like it already.
I love dream talk.
Yeah.
However, the inventor of the Dream VCR will only allow you to use this device if you agree to a strange caveat.
Uh-oh.
When you watch your dreams, you must do so with your family and your closest friends in the same room. They get to watch your dreams along with you, and if you don't agree to this, you can't use the Dream VCR. Would you still do this?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't think I have any dream. I mean, like, everybody is gonna have like some weird.
I've had some strange dreams.
Yeah, I've had some strange dreams too. I had recently where a friend of mine's girlfriend like actually hit me for some reason. I don't know what was going on exactly. We were like, it was like me, his family, and her were like packed into a car, and we were driving somewhere. I don't really remember why. And I must have said something or something. She like hit like assaulted me, like hurt my head. And then his mom started like saying like, "Oh, you two stop fighting." And I turned around and I said to his girlfriend, "You bitch." and then his mom screamed at me and said, "You do not use that language in here, and if you say anything like that again, you're never coming over. It's like you're never coming to visit ever again." It was just kind of like, I was sort of like, what? She just like, she could have like caused brain damage, and you're mad at me because I called her a name?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was very funny.
All right, well, I had a strange dream the other day, which will top that in strange factor.
And, yeah, that wasn't that strange. I just thought it was silly.
It's a dream you wouldn't want to watch with people in the room with you. So my best friend professes his love to me, and we're on like a like a ship, like Titanic-esque, and it's like, and it's very dramatic. It's like, I can't remember all the details now, obviously, but it's something like he professed his love for me, and I did not reciprocate it, and then he got mad, and it was like we were supposed to stay on the ship together, but he chose to run off, and I was like, no, I want to stay, because we were like, it was like risking. Should we stay on this boat, or go to this other island or something? Something weird. It was like, no, I want to stay, and we were supposed to stay together, but then he was mad that I didn't reciprocate his love, so he ran off, and then I died. So
yeah, then you died. Okay.
Like it transitioned from. Sometimes my dream does this where I don't ever get to see myself die, but I'll like in almost a theatrical style, I'll get to see like the ship like filling up with water and like other people dying and stuff, and it's like, and it's just insinuated that I did die because I was on that ship. But I'm in this weird third person cinematic style at this point, and it's just like, it was very depressing. It was like I woke up and it was like very real. I was like, wow.
I was like,
I
wow,
just died.
That's rough. Well, yeah, I mean, I've definitely
weird.
had dreams where I've died. Yeah.
But then there's sexual dreams
Plenty of
too.
those.
So
Yeah. I don't have as many of those as I would like.
I haven't had one in a while. It's telling.
It's been a little while.
We also don't have anyone to speak to for our 15-minute speech, so
Yeah.
so maybe it's something there. You think we would have more dreams then?
Probably, maybe. I don't know.
But no. But
I can tell you from being from with my ex-girlfriend, you do have more of those dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I can from experience. So yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like I mean, like, even regardless, well, I suppose it would be kind of awkward, I guess, maybe if it was those kind of dreams with your family or whatever.
They have to sit and watch it with you. Yeah,
they have to sit and watch it. Yeah,
weird.
They were like, "Wow, you got an active imagination." But like, I don't know. Most of my dreams are just like strange or kind of funny or whatever, you know. So sure.
Yeah, I love talking dreams. I think they're fascinating. I've always thought it'd be awesome to have like a dream world where you can control yourself while you're dreaming, and like meet up with other people and dream together. That's what I always envisioned. That was my dream.
That's cool. I've had a few recurring dreams over the years too, where like there's one that I know that it's like it tells the same story every time, but I can never really quite remember it. I've had some friends say that they have dreams that actually like carries on is carried on like a story. So like it actually picks up kind of almost where it left off the last time, which I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I've had that before. I haven't had it in a long time. But I remember when I was having a dream.
I've had sequel dreams before, but I've never had like a full story going on, really.
I remember when I had a dream, I had like, there was a truck that had like a symbol on it, and like I remembered it as if it was like someone I had seen before, but it was like a previous dream. It wasn't anything from my life. It was like a memory of another dream within that dream. I was like, oh, I know these people, and they were like the bad guys, you know. And that was a weird dream. I don't know did I ever talk to you about this dream? Do I ever talk to you about dreams? Who else would I talk to you about this? I don't know.
It beats me.
But there was like this crew that came in like hazmat suits into my house. This like van pulls up and
ET style.
It's like almost like it was almost like a pyro suit, like the pyro from the Team Fortress. That kind of.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like ET, where they're all coming in.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But they had like that mask, actually.
Yeah. Oh, the pyro mask.
And they came in, and just like I was by myself, home alone, and like my mom was supposed to be back in like a couple hours or something, and they basically seems like they start filling up my house with poisonous gas, and they like hand me this little vial. It's like a little bag, a vial that's like a little bag, and they were like, "Here's your air. You hold, like use it well, like sparingly. So like I have to conserve my air from this little vial." That's all I get to breathe in, and just hope that someone gets home sometime soon. It was stupid. You
couldn't like hop out the window or anything.
No, I had to stay in my house.
And get poisoned horribly.
But it's like I knew these people. It was like a triggering when I saw the thing on the truck. I was like, God, I know these people. But then
I had to get you.
It's so weird. I've had some weird dreams in the past. Yeah. Would you do the dream VCR? Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I think it'd be fun
Okay.
and funny. You know, entertaining to talk about.
It would be.
Just like dreams are just like, you know, whatever. I mean, who's gonna judge you for your dreams? Like, only weird people would do that.
I mean, if the people that are watching it with you are intimately involved in the dreams, yeah, then
Okay, well, that would
becomes
be
a
weird,
weird
yeah.
level, you know? Like, close friends are involved, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I don't have too many of those dreams. Maybe if I start having some of those dreams, then maybe I would be like, yeah, I don't necessarily want the dream VCR anymore.
You already signed the contract. They will be
Do
showing
I,
up every Friday night for the Dream
yeah, does
VCR
it say
showing.
I have to watch every single one?
I don't know. Okay, when you watch your dreams, you must do so with your
Yeah,
family and your closest friends
yeah,
in the same room.
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have to watch all of them. I'd only show the ones I'd want to watch. So
Yeah.
that's okay.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the machine allows you to tape entire evenings worth of your own dreams.
Oh, so you
can
do
then
have to.
which you can then watch at your leisure.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you have to know, you have to tape them ahead of time, and then you can only
Yeah.
and then you can watch them at your leisure. But every time you watch it, you have to, that actually could get tricky because I was just saying, you know, there are some dreams where I don't necessarily remember what they are, so that could get tricky.
Generally, if you want to watch one, you have some semblance of the dream. You know this is you can tell if it's a deeply sexual dream that you should not be watching.
That's true. That's true. You should be like, yep, that was a one and done. That was good. Keep it in my brain.
Yeah. This one's called Shaquille in the Shower. You come home from an afternoon of shopping, expecting your residence to be empty. However, upon entering your front door, you immediately sense that something is strange. The entire place smells like marijuana and roses.
What?
There's a briefcase sitting in the middle of your living room floor, filled with diamonds and Christmas cookies. You can hear the shower running, and when you open the door to the bathroom, you realize that the man using the shower is basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal. A naked Shaq peers at you from behind the shower curtain. Hold on.
That sentence is, I'm sorry, but that sentence is amazing.
A naked Shaq peers at you from behind the shower curtain and smiles enthusiastically, but says nothing.
I want him to be doing the icy hot dance.
He then returns to washing himself. When you ask O'Neal what he is doing in your home, he simply says, "I don't remember." Do you call the police?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like,
I don't respect him that much.
Yeah, I mean, I like, hey, I love it. It's like he peers at you through the curtains and he smiles enthusiastically. What are you doing in my house? Why does it smell like weed and roses?
Is that a
The
thing that Shaquille's known for?
Yeah, I was like, this Shaq.
Apparently, and he's got
Do you like super into?
he's got a briefcase full of diamonds and Christmas cookies as well. So,
I mean, like, I don't know. That's weird. Why Christmas cookies?
Maybe that we're supposed to piece this together. Why is he there?
Yeah,
Diamonds,
we're supposed to hang over this.
Christmas cookies, marijuana, roses.
Yeah, we're supposed to hang over this. We need to put the pieces of the puzzle back together and figure out why Shaq's in our shower. Yeah, I call the police.
I call the police because he says I don't remember. Is the biggest red flag too.
Yeah, that's the big. As if everything else wasn't alarming.
Yeah.
Him saying that he doesn't know why he's there.
If he was like, "I'm Shaquille O'Neal, I can do what I want," I'd be like, "All right." Well.
I'd be like, "Well, please finish up your shower and please kindly leave my house."
Can I get a selfie? You need a selfie with him in the shower while he's doing this enthusiastic smile. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, call the police, right? No celebrity privilege around here.
Yeah, no, that's weird. I mean, like, even if it was a very attractive, like, say it was a female star, right. I would still be like, "What are you doing in my house?"
I don't remember.
Why are you in my shower?
I don't remember.
Like, okay, well,
she's smiling enthusiastically. Why are they smiling enthusiastically? Why is Shaquille O'Neal smiling like? And he doesn't remember why he's there. I don't remember.
Yeah. You see, that's off-putting.
That's crazy.
It's very off-putting. I mean, that's what I mean. Even if it was like a very, very attractive, sexy, Hollywood star.
Sexy Hollywood star.
Hollywood star. I'd be like, no, what are you doing in my house? I didn't want you here. Who says you could? Just
I
use
don't
my shower.
remember.
And I'm like, it's weird. Get out of my house.
All right, well, it would be an experience. I would love it, but
I mean, yeah, you could tell everybody about how you had a shack in your shower randomly.
a shack in your shower. Yeah, I get a.
Yeah.
That would be a video I would record for sure. I whip out my phone as soon as I could, and he'd
Yeah,
just
be
he'd
like-
just be there smiling. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
And
Shaq,
everybody
Shaq,
could see
what
it.
are you doing in my shower?
Oh man, you'd be a viral star right
Yeah.
there.
I'd be the Shaq in the shower guy. I'd be on Ellen DeGeneres the next week.
Yeah. So you're telling me you got Shaquille O'Neal in your shower?
Yeah, man, out of nowhere, he's just there in the shower, smiling, says nothing.
I'm trying to think of an Ellenism, but I can't. Sorry, Ellen.
All right, well, let's move on. This one's called Rudimentary Magician. All right, let us assume you met a rudimentary magician. Let us also assume that he can do 5 simple tricks. He can pull a rabbit out of his hat. He can make a coin disappear. He can turn the ace of spades into the joker card, and he can do 2 others in a similar vein. These are his only tricks, and he can't learn any more. He can only do these 5. However, it turns out that he's doing these 5 tricks with real magic. It's not an illusion. He can actually conjure the bunny out of the ether, and he can move the coin through space. He's legitimately magical, but extremely limited in scope and influence. Would this person be more impressive than Albert Einstein?
What?
Out of left field, Albert Einstein enters.
Yeah, that one took a hard right turn. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. He's magical.
I mean, to a point, yeah, because like Einstein was talking about like had theoretical equations and explanations as to describe reality.
He didn't pull his theories out of thin air.
That's yeah, exactly. He's described essentially the theory of relativity and everything is a description of reality, or his attempt at describing a flux of reality. So yeah, I would say to a point the fact that this can't be explained. He may not be like theoretical or brilliant in any way, but he's doing something that is, by all known accounts, completely impossible. He's doing actual magic that is impressive to an extent, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, Einstein was obviously a genius, and he obviously came up with a lot of stuff that we're still utilizing in theoretical physics and astronomical physics and all that jimmy jams, all that stuff that he was able to theorize and sort of figure out. Obviously a brilliant mind.
But brilliant minds are a dime a dozen when compared to rudimentary actual magicians.
But it's magic. It's like legitimate magic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, even if it is rudimentary, it's still not. I mean, maybe we're just so spoiled because of how much we've been able to discover, and that we're still discovering all the time about our reality.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we just sort of take that for granted a little bit. But at the same time, this is magic.
Yeah, we don't have anything that's like so inexplicable
Yeah.
It's like literally magic. We don't have that, and that would be something that's like, wow, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Now we have things that are just inexplicable. You have magical people, and now the game has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sure, yeah, he's more impressive for sure. Last one. This one is Forever 75.
Uh-oh.
You celebrate your 75th birthday in good health. As far as you can tell, you are a spry, relatively normal 75-year-old, and this condition does not seem to change over time. When you celebrate your 80th birthday, you look and feel exactly as you did on your 75th. When you hit 90, you still look and feel 75. On your 100th birthday, you realize that most of your friends are now dead or dying, but physically, you're the same independent person you were 25 years ago. You hit age 110 with the same results. Every year, you're celebrating a new birthday without physically evolving beyond the age of 75. Doctors have no explanation for this inexplicable stasis. More magical stuff. How old would you have to be before you would start to seriously believe that you were immortal? 130.
Yeah, it'd probably be like 120, maybe 125, 130.
At 130, you're like past the record, and you're also feeling 75 still, so
yeah,
that's pretty...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would jump to immortal because it's already inexplicable. I don't know if I would jump all the way that far. I just like, this is already magical. I'm just like, I don't know what this is, but
yeah,
maybe I'm like meant to go to 200.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like it would be. I feel like it would be like 150. It would be probably 130. It would cross my mind. Maybe around 150 would be when I'd seriously start to actually believe it, and then also want it to end.
Already, okay.
Because that's, I mean,
you have no one left. Well, you have at that point you have really old children if you have children, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is like, that's one thing that like, I don't know if you ever played Lost Odyssey.
No, not yet.
That was
you give it to me for Dance Challenge, but
oh, that's right.
For
yeah.
Secret Santa, I mean.
For Secret Santa, I get it for you. Yeah. I feel like that game does a really good job of kind of exploring the idea of being so old and what that does to, like, you're seeing like so many people come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Like it almost gets how do you extremely depressing. Like how do you continue to go on, you know, like when everyone is that old.
Yeah, I mean, the option of killing yourself is there, it seems. It's like you have the same health. You're stuck at 75 health for some reason. Your 75-year-old self stuck.
Right, especially because it's like you're the only and you don't necessarily have to believe this, but like there are accounts in the Bible of like way like ancient, super like Adam and Eve type stuff. They lived like in the 900s. The oldest recorded living human in the Bible was Methuselah, who was like 950 something, I think. Wow. 947, something like that. So that would have made him like old enough to meet like obviously like great everybody. But everyone at that period of time is recorded as living super long. Maybe not like quite that long, but they're in the 700s, 600s. So people are still living for like super long periods of time. If everyone is living that long, sure. If I'm the only one living that long, no. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. I would not want any part of that. I mean, it's like to one point, like I suppose seeing your progeny like have children and stuff, like it would be kind of nice to at least maybe see your grandchildren grow up and see where they're going.
Five generations later.
Yeah, but then it would just get like kind of weird and kind of sad after a while, because like you're not gonna be. They're not always gonna. The more widespread your offspring get, the harder it would be to keep track of every single one of them. You know, because they're all gonna go their separate ways. They're all gonna have their own lives.
And it already gets weird as soon as your children become less healthy than you are. When they pass your age, or even like, or when they pass you like 75 years old and they're like decrepit and you're perfectly healthy at 150, you know?
Yeah.
That's when it gets weird already. So then if you're going to go through watching them die and then watching their children die, when does it stop? But that's not really the question, but still, so that's something to consider. But when do you start, how old would you have to be to think you're immortal? Maybe 130, but
yeah, it'd be about there, I'd say.
Again, I don't know if I would be like, well, live to 130 must be immortal.
Well, that's what I mean. I start being more convinced the older, obviously. Yeah. I start to actually start to believe it, I think.
Now the real question is, would you be more impressive than an actual magician? I think so.
It's kind of magical, you know. You're living way past the time a lot of people live.
I think that's more impressive. Like, you have perfectly good 75-year-old health even into your late 300s.
Yeah, I can still go play golf. You know, I might not be as spry as I used to, but I can still do some handiwork around the house and
still paying off those student debts. You'll see like so much that you're not supposed to see, like generations of technological advancement.
Yeah.
And actual generations.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. Hypertheticals.
All right. There's 10 more down.
And that means there's 10 left.
Oh no.
And I mean, Chuck Klosterman needs to make more.
Sure does. Especially with those ones that take those hard right turns are great. Mm-hmm. Those are some of my favorites.
And I felt like we were zooming through them in the beginning, but now we're at an hour. So
yeah.
Well,
I know I monologued about art for a while. I don't know. That's something I like to think about a lot. So
art and Shaquille
and Shaq in my shower.
A lot of things. Shaq in my shower. It's a great idea.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, watch some of the other ones if you haven't.
Well, okay.
Especially our extremely
wicked, shockingly evil, and vile review.